We're live.
And it says we're live. Hello, everybody. Thanks for coming to Fish Talk with Skipper's Aquariums, TN Aqua, and our guest tonight is the Swampy Acres family. Swampy Acres and Bold Mama, also Tom and Karen. Thank you guys for showing up. We appreciate it.
Yes, thank you very much. It is an honor to have you all on here.
We're excited to be here.
Well, thank you. We appreciate it. Let's do a couple hellos. There is, 6 people in here right now, but we got Adele. She came in first. We got, oh, man, I always mess that up. Canisto, Valley Cichlids, Griff, My Fish Tanks, Mike's Aquatics and Things, and Jenny Lynn. Thank you, everybody, for showing up. I got a little something that happened to me today with this tank behind me. I was feeding the African butterfly fish, and one actually jumped out and kissed me on the finger and went back in while I was sprinkling some stuff in it. It touched my finger and went back in. It was crazy.
I was just about to ask if you've had any trouble with them jumping out yet.
No, they hang out more toward the front or to the side there. Wherever there's plants, that's where they're up in. Like both of them here. You got that long jungle valve there that they like to sit in. Oh, we got Greg the Guppy here. Thank you, buddy.
Did you ever get any more of those?
No,
because like I know that Dan, he had 2 more, but I didn't know if he ever sold them or not.
He has 20.
Oh, so I guess that he got more in. Okay.
At least that's what the website says.
And also, I haven't seen him on his website yet because they're still in quarantine. But he has something I'm very interested in. He's got some L333s in King Tigers.
Yes, I did see that,
and they look good. He actually did a part 1 and a part 2 video of the new stock that he got in, and I highly recommend everyone to go check that out if you haven't already seen that yet.
Yeah, I saw the part 1 because I have a gift certificate for Dan, but I don't know what I want to order yet, so I haven't ordered. So I saw part 1, but I didn't watch part 2 yet.
Yeah, you gotta watch part 2. There's some pretty cool stuff there. Hi, Bruiser. Hi, Dave, and hi, Jess. Thanks for showing up. Jess is working and lurking.
Banoski, hello.
So, how's your what is that? The Aquaponics that your Tilapia you breed up in? How's that working out for you? Is it still doing pretty good?
Yeah, we ordered an additional 100. We bred a few hundred. We have more baby fry in a 300-gallon tank that was just hatched not too long ago. So, yeah, I have a bunch of tilapia.
Like yesterday when I was at the fish store, I seen a fish there that made me to think of you two, and what I saw was a tank full of black Moors, the goldfish, and I seen them. I was like, that's the ones that they got that they pet all the time.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, there are petters. And it's funny because when we first got them from Foxy, she's the one that started the petting, and she gave us the parents and a couple babies, and we've had a couple babies since then. And at this point, when you put your hand in that tank, well, at least when I put my hand in the tank, they know the difference between me and anybody else. Like, if the kids put their hand in there, they'll kind of go close, but they're leery. But if I put my hand in that tank, even the babies will come up to be pet now because they've seen me pet the bigger one. They're so funny.
That's pretty cool.
They're good fish, though.
Thomas back here like, I ain't petting no fish.
I just feed them. That's about it.
We pet them on certain occasions.
Yeah, but that's cool though. You know that they let you come up and pet them and stuff. Because like I've actually seen a couple of videos where people where they had like what's some one big cichlids, it's like a Midas cichlids, whatever, that they that this guy was like, he had a big tank and it had like two big like lids on it, and then like this guy would take his hand, put it in the tank, and when his fish would swim over to him, the guy would pick it up and toss them over to the far side of the tank, and when the fish would go in and swim right back to him, and he'd just keep on doing it. I mean, I just thought that was always pretty neat to have something, have like a fish pet like that.
Right. A fish you can actually touch.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, hi, Bob. Bob showed up. Thank you, buddy.
Hey, Bob.
Hey.
How many fish tanks you guys up currently running?
I've lost count.
Yeah, me too. 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 22, 25, 26.
I have 2 in the house.
27, 28, 2 in the house, about 30.
30 currently running.
Nice.
And
that's a good little setup. Heck yeah.
and we got another 10 that's not hooked up. We have another 60 gallon, 130 gallon.
Yeah, I'm working on building a 130 into my living room wall.
Still have a 20 gallon, and I still have 4 300 gallon stock tanks.
Now that tank that you're going to be putting in the wall, I mean, is that one that you're going to like be building like yourself from like scratch, with panels of glass and everything, or
No,
is that one that
we have a 130 that we're just gonna work on. I'm working on putting in a big, almost like a dividing wall in my living room, and it's just gonna be like shelves, almost like an entertainment center. So when we build that, we'll be building a specific shelf that we can slide the 130 on and have like an access door above it so we can get in it and stuff. And we should be able to access it from the dining room kitchen area because that's through the same wall. So.
That'd be good.
Nice.
Yeah, that's gonna be like our I don't know, family tank. Like he has his ours, that's his thing. He's got that 120 in the fish room, and I have my 15 in the bathroom. That's like neon Tetras, and that's my favorite. So this one's gonna be just like a community family fish tank in the living room. So.
Bo Mama, I gotta say, I agree with you 100% on the neon Tetras. I mean, I don't know what it is. Yes, I know that they've been around forever, and they're just like it's just like a normal fish. But I just love them, especially when you got a bunch of them together.
Yep, I have.
They're just
15.
they're neat looking.
The neon Tetras.
Mm-hmm.
We have 15 of them. And it's in the tall 15 gallon that we got, and they just swim around and they're just loving life, and I love it. And I got the green plants in there, and they just pop against the green plants. They got some guppy grass and cornwort in there with them, and some water lettuce on top, and they're just loving life. Yeah, I have some caradinia shrimp in there with them.
Oh, nice. So what kind of caradinas?
Black King Kongs and shadow pandas.
Now, are those the ones that y'all got from Detroit Shrimp and Aquatics?
Yep.
Yes.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
I mean,
They're
like,
doing
you
pretty
know,
well.
like, and by the way, congratulations on that because, like, Brian, he has some nice stuff. I mean, just some.
We also got the red King Kongs from him as well.
Yeah, we got red
Oh,
King
nice.
Kong, and they're in the fish room because I wanted to keep them separate. But yeah, he was amazing. He was like he kept messaging me because the weather wasn't quite right when we had ordered them. So he kept in touch with me, and he's like, you know, okay, I see the weather looks good for the next couple days. They're coming. And I was like, all right. And he was really fantastic. And after I got them, I was so nervous. I was like, man, I don't want to kill these shrimp, like, you know. But I messaged him a couple questions, and he answered me right away. And he was really great. Like, if you're looking for Caradinia shrimp, I would 110% say go to him.
That's cool.
Yes, absolutely. Chalupa, aka Travis, Adele, and Sandy Doughty. Hello. I thought I seen a couple more.
Robert Mueller. G'day, Craig. And that's pretty much it. It's caught up.
Oh, okay. But
So-
hello, everyone, and thank you all for joining us.
So how's everything else been going on the homestead? Pretty good.
Yeah.
Working on the garden.
Mm-hmm.
We're working on replacing our chicken stock for this year. We got attacked by a bear last year. Working on new breeding stock for my rabbits.
That's the cow pen.
Cow pen, working on a cow pen. Little less than right now an acre.
I did watch a video. I think it was a couple days ago that y'all posted. But you guys did a video on like your homestead, you know, like what y'all had and stuff, like new with the chicks and everything. And like when y'all did that, I mean, which I loved it, by the way. But I mean, like I noticed, you know, that there was snow on the ground and stuff. I mean, anyway, did you guys like ever like have any problems, you know, with the cold or anything like that when it comes to with the homestead?
Yes.
You know, like as far as like.
Yeah, the animals, like, if they get cold or they get wet, forget it. Like, it's very hard. Yeah, he always tells me that. Wet and cold animals are dead animals. But, so, I mean, a couple years ago, we had pigs, and that was the winter. We had that, oh gosh, what did they call it? Northeastern Arctic something for like, what was it, a week and a half, Skipper?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Like, it was cold.
They call it a nor'easter.
That year. Yep, we lost a couple pigs that year because it just got too cold and there was nothing we could do. They were bedded in hay. They had their shelter, but it was just so cold. There was, you know, we'd lost most of them overnight. The rabbits are all pretty good because they're in hutches. We've never really hit too much trouble with rabbits during the winter. And then the chickens, they're in a camper. They have their own camper, so they're pretty good in the winter time too. The only other
nice.
thing I've ever really had issues with is baby animals, like chicks. If we get them when it's still too cold, or years and years ago, we had baby goats, and we actually kept them inside the house for a week or two because wearing diapers in the house, running around. They were, bottle babies, so they we had them, and the safest place for them was in the house. So I couldn't trust that. At that time, we didn't have cameras. Now we have cameras, so I can keep an eye on things even if I'm not out there. But back then we didn't have cameras, so I couldn't trust keeping them in the barn or in their enclosure, because there's still a chance they can get too cold, and I'd never know unless I'm down there constantly all night checking on them. So yeah, we had some baby goats living in the house. So, but other than that, I mean, as long as you're really cautious and you keep an eye on them, you know, like make sure they always have fresh hay. We're constantly checking the weather. If you keep on top of it, it's not usually too bad, but we have had some casualties because of the cold.
What's up, Chubbs? Thanks for showing up, buddy.
Hey, Chubbs.
Hey, Chubbs.
Yeah, I'm sure you guys come across a lot of heavy task and a lot of ups and downs. Now, when you first got into it, did you think that you were ever going to do a fish room to add on to your already daily chores thing that you already have to do?
Did we ever think that we were going to ever have a fish room?
No.
No.
And when he suggested it, I thought he was freaking crazy.
Yeah, it's kind of like one of them things. Like, we already got enough as it is on our plate.
We've got all these animals. We've got 4 kids. You want to add a fish room too?
Yeah, we pretty much built a fish room in less than 8 months.
It happens quick.
Yeah.
It all started with the tilapia. Really?
I remember
You wanted to get them for the aquaponics system.
Yep.
Yeah, you wanted to get them for the aquaponics system. And they ended up killing most of my fish in my community tank in the house because we had a power outage. So he was like, because in the house we have gas and stuff, so we can keep the house warm still, even though the power was out. So he brought them in the house and put them in my tank in the house, so we could at least try to keep them warm. They ate all my fish in my tank. And, he was like, "Oh, I'll replace your fish. I'll replace your fish," and then that's how all of the other fish that we got.
Of, like guppies, and she had a whole community tank. There was a good 7, 8 fish in this tank.
It was huge.
Oh man!
And it didn't take too long.
No, we were only out of power 2 days total. And man, they annihilated everybody. So
yeah.
So they ate pretty good then, huh?
Yeah.
Oh man.
That's why I'm gonna eat them.
Well, yeah, eventually Yins will be.
Yeah, it's like, man, this tilapia tastes really good. But I do get a hint of neon tetra in there too. Yeah.
Oh
boy.
Oh, Mr. Manifesto's here. Another Pennsylvanian.
Hey, Jason.
Well, he might as well just be here.
Started with.
And that's how it started.
50 tilapia. That's how it started, and then the power outage went and happened, and I was able to save, I think, 10 of them, but then, I don't know, they were territorial, off of the tank.
Yeah.
And then I was able to save 2 females and 2 males, and then the male killed my 1 female. So then I had 2 males and a female, and then it was the slush of the breed.
Now we got babies all over the place.
No, just grow them up and then put them in the freezer. That's what I'd do.
Yeah, that is the plan.
Now, on the tilapia, do y'all have any of those ones? I think they're called the Bleaker eye tilapias?
No.
No, we only have blue. With the new ones we got are the blue tilapia.
Mm-hmm.
And the other ones that we got were from just somebody
That was
semi-local, and they were kind of a mix. So
they were kind of a mix, and they were kind of selling them out, kind of like in their dining room.
yeah, he had a big tank in his dining room with them in it.
Oh, so those blue ones that y'all got now, are those the ones that you got from Jesse?
No.
Or
Yeah. We got
Oh,
them
okay.
from the hatchery.
oh,
They're the
okay.
newest ones we just got in from the hatchery. Yeah.
Yeah,
so.
these are pure strain blue.
Yeah, we just got them a couple. What about maybe two months ago? Maybe.
Yeah, I was waiting on a good 5 months, almost 6 months for them.
Oh, okay. So so like now that Foxy has moved, which I'm sure that's a bummer, on you guys, because you probably, miss her, because y'all was neighbors. But did y'all get any of her stuff, like before she left, like with the snails and stuff?
Yeah,
A ton of snails.
ton of snails.
A ton of snails.
Ton of snails.
Two Nerite snails that she had in her butthead tank.
Blue mysteries. Ivory mysteries.
Yeah, a bunch of mysteries.
Blue ramblers. Bunch of plants.
Oh, we got some of her Danios.
Oh, nice. The CPDs?
No, her
Zebras.
zebra Danios.
Zebra Daniels.
Oh, okay.
And bristle nose, right?
Yeah, I think so.
I think that was it. And then a bunch of plants and stuff that she trimmed and didn't want and stuff. And she called it the swamp. She's like, I'm so sorry about the swamp. I'm like, don't worry about it. Your goldfish love to eat it. So,
It's
but
nice
yeah,
you guys were able to help her out.
What's that?
Hey, Benny.
It was definitely nice you guys are able to help her out, and I'm glad she made it to wherever they're out there. That was pretty cool of you.
I actually met up
Geek
with
boy,
her.
hello.
She had a dresser that kind of helped her load up.
yeah. Tom was helping her load and
That was
everything.
the biggest piece of furniture she said she had, and we just helped her load it up.
Yeah. I know. I do miss her though. Like I know we can still text and message just like we used to, but I don't know. It was nice knowing that she was right there and we we meet up all the time. So
Yeah. So this is since you guys we're helping her get loaded up and everything. How did y'all get the tanks moved in there? Did you have to put any foam or anything in between them, or?
No, actually, her fish. I just helped her move the dresser, and she pretty much took care of the fish tanks.
yeah, I think she was pretty well loaded up till you got up there. Besides the big dresser and stuff, but I don't know how she did her tank.
I'm sure it was a puzzle. I couldn't even imagine.
From my understanding, she was breaking them down and putting them in Home Depot buckets.
Her fish in the bucket.
Oh yeah. Oh, we got Patty Rockos. Hi guys, thanks for showing up. You have any future plans besides that 125 you want to build into your house? Do you have any breeding projects you're trying to do besides tilapia?
Not really anything I'm actively pursuing. my mystery snails are always laying clutches and having beautiful babies. And I have guppies together, but I'm not like, like specifically monitoring the water for breeding and trying to like, get them to breed or anything. But if they breed, they breed. We did get some more 10s yesterday to finish our 10 rack here because it has a 30 on it. So we're going to pull that off and put 3 10s in its place. And I got the 10s to finish the plant rack so that we can get all of our plants planted real nice and stuff. So I think those are our 2 biggest fish room projects right now.
And setting up to 55.
Yeah, and we have to get another 55 set up to move the Butthead Texas up here. So he has his own forever home because he don't want to get along with anybody else. So he's in a 55 now, but we're going to build a shelf above the 120 that the Oscars are in, and we put him up there so he just can have at it.
Yeah. So I guess,
Rocco, Patty, hello.
If you really wanted to, I guess that'd be more like winter projects as opposed to all the stuff you got going on with, the spring, summer, and fall with harvest and all that other, stuff that you have to do with the homestead. That'd be something good to keep you busy in the winter.
Right. I think that's what we're thinking. Fall's a lot of preserving, all of our stuff from the garden, all our berries, all our processing, canning, whatever, all our, preserving of our food. And then spring is obviously all planting the garden and, moving animals out of the barn if they were in there for the cow was in there for the winter so that he couldn't get, so he didn't get too cold. So he's working on moving back down to his pasture now, but he decided he wanted to walk right through the electrical fence that we had down there. So we have to run a couple more lines for him, and we're giving him a lot more room. I don't even know how much. It's a lot more room than what it originally was when he was littler. So we ran all of that. I think we have, one more wire to run?
One more strand.
One more strand back around to run. And then we've got to go through, there's some trees hitting wire. So we have to go trim that so it doesn't short out the fence. But other than that, it's pretty much done and ready to go. So that's kind of all of our spring projects. And then summer is just kind of keeping everything going.
We're actually working on picking up 2 eggs. Monday or Tuesday.
Oh, nice.
So the cow will have a shed in his run.
So he'll have his very own little barn down there. And that way, if I need to close him in, I can, but I'll just leave it open, and that way he can go in and out.
Because the other one is going to be for both mamas' goats.
Oh, the other shed. Yeah, we're getting 2 sheds, and we will be adding goats to the homestead at some point over the next year. So we're just trying to get prepared for them. But yeah, I think we just figured out that we're gonna try and really focus on the fish room and our fish and breeding or anything like that during the winter, or at least fall going into the winter. When it's not outside and stuff, and then just it's not too bad to maintain everybody during the summer, like spring, summer, and fall when we're doing everything else. It's not too bad to maintain. It's all pretty close quarters. So water changes aren't terrible, and it's not terrible to maintain it. So as long as everybody's set up okay, we should be good to go, and then really focus on the breeding and stuff during the winter time. So
Right. Yeah. I mean, when you have most of your tanks in one room or whatever, I can see it definitely being a lot easier to keep track of everything. Besides, when you got them spread out all over, on the house, but because when you do that, I'm pretty sure it's very easy to like maybe not pay as much attention to other tanks, but because you sort of like forget in some ways, that they're there,
I did it a couple weeks ago.
Because I had one that done that,
Mm-hmm. We have a 30 in what we're working on making the kids' playroom, and I had some blind cave tetra in there, and a Placo, and some snail. Well, I just get up in the morning and go through and just feed the 2 tanks I have in the house quick, and then I go about my business. Well, I fed that morning. I wasn't in there all that day because I don't very rarely go into the playroom, and we were running somewhere that day. So I fed them early in the morning, did the running. The next day, we had something else going on, and I didn't get to feed them first thing in the morning. Came home that night, and my daughter's like, it really smells coming from the playroom. And I'm thinking, oh, my God, what did the boys do? My heater went in the tank and fried my fish. Like, the water was like, what, 107?
Yeah, almost
when I went in there?
degrees.
My Placo is
no.
still alive. My Placo made it. I couldn't even believe it. But my Placo made it, but fried all my fish and everything. And it smelled so bad, so I had to clean it all out. But like you said, if you're not in that room or it's not right in your face all the time, like if something happens, man, it was a good 24 hours between when I went in there to feed that day and then the next day that like I was like, man, and I don't like that. It makes me mad. I don't like to lose fish over something like that.
Hi, William. Yes. Yeah,
I
I
had
mean,
something to the same.
The blind cave tetra.
Yeah, I was supposed to give them to Mr. Manifesto, actually.
Oh, that's right. I remember him saying about wanting something like that.
Mm-hmm.
yeah, those would go good inside that new 90-gallon if he ever gets it.
Yeah.
You're still working on setting that up with Fushimon?
Oh, yeah, that 90, that is getting from Fishimon. But I think that's the reason why all because he just always busy and then then they make plans on meeting up to get it and stuff, and then something else happens. It just part of life. I mean, like it don't matter what you do, don't matter like how hard that you plan, something always comes up.
Absolutely. Yep.
Elizabeth, hello.
Hello, Elizabeth. I had something happen to me to where I actually had a tank crash. I have a 20. I'm gonna do a video on it, but I'll say it anyways. I don't care. I had a 20-gallon that I had that koi fish in, and I did a water change on it. Then I sand capped it, and then I got fish, put fish in it, and the next morning they were all dead. So I was like, I don't know what the heck's going on. I have a feeling because there was a koi fish in there, so much gunk in that gravel that when I sand capped it, I don't know if there's gases releasing in there because there's nothing wrong with the plants. The fish keep dying on me, so I'm just going to tear it down and start over again. Kind of
yeah. I hate that happen.
Every time we put something in it, it'll die.
Yeah, we had a 20 like that too. I don't know what it was. I broke the whole thing down, got rid of the filter sponges. I was like, I don't want nothing from this tank in anything else. I was like, I don't know what it is, but everything I did, it just died.
So that's funny, that y'all brought that up, all because like, I had a 10-gallon tank that was like that. I mean, it didn't matter what it was, it died, and finally I took that one to the dumpster and got rid of it. I was like, I ain't having this happen again, but granted, I have noticed that there has been a lot of people that has had that same problem, that you will get one tank that you don't know what it is, just cause you problems.
Whenever I say I'm tearing it down, everything's coming out, and I'm scrubbing the heck out of that glass and silicone. I don't care, because it's pretty much a brand new tank, but because I'll use the vinegar, water, and then I'll use Dawn dish soap, and then vinegar and water again, and it's going to look like a brand new tank whenever I'm done with it, because I don't know what it is, and I'm going to do the same thing. I'm getting rid of everything that's in it. I don't care what it is. It's gone. It's going in the trash. And I'm starting.
That's all I did, and after I scrubbed it all out and stuff, it's been fine. I have fish in it, but I don't know what it was.
Exactly. Bleach. I ain't gonna do bleach balm, but I'm gonna do the vinegar balm first.
That's what we did. We did vinegar.
Yeah. Try that. And then if you set it back up and, get it good and cycle, and if you still have problems, I highly recommend you getting rid of it and just getting a new one.
I'll
Yeah, there you go.
I'll put it over a trash can. I'll just smash it.
Yep.
That's
rid of the bad thing to do. Absolutely.
So if in chat has any questions, go ahead and put it in chat, and we'll pop it up there for them to answer.
Well, I do got a question. So what exactly triggered you to start a homestead? I mean, what was it that got you all inspired to do that?
A few different things. We used to watch a lot of prepping stuff, and a lot of world coming to the end and stuff like that, and all kinds of stuff. And we just thought about it, and we talked about it, and we discussed it. It's not just the easiest decision in the world to do.
Yeah, we kind of eased into it. But I grew up on a farm, so a lot of this has just been stuff I've done since forever. But we kind of wanted to. My biggest thing I like about it, and my biggest selling point. Yes, Mr. Manifesto. It was Pennsylvania Dutch root beer. It's actually birch beer, but yeah. My biggest thing is I know what I'm feeding my kids, because I planted that seed, I grew that, I put that dirt in that box or that garden, and I know what I'm feeding. There's very little, guesswork with it. I know what I'm feeding my kids. There's so much crap out there nowadays, and I don't know. If you really watch, I can tell the difference in my kids when they go to someone else's house and they get a bunch of crap, junk food type stuff, and they're not. I can tell the difference, and they get sluggish. They get attitude-y. I can tell the difference in the health of my kids when they're eating here all the time, or we go to a party and they have birthday cake and they have chips And I mean, we have that stuff here too, but very much in moderation. And my kids, yet last year we got hardly any cherry tomatoes from the garden. My son, who was 2 at the time, would just go in the garden, pick the cherry tomatoes, pop them in his mouth, and take off.
Yeah.
Like, and that's the best part for me. Like, I know what my kids are eating, and I know, like, I can trust that, you know? And I just think we're all happier and healthier for it. So.
Yeah, we did.
Oh, yeah.
I think it was 8 cherry tomatoes last year. We ate every tomato on them. Like 8 plants.
That to me is just fantastic, because because like we as a society has become so dependent on just things just like being there at the store, you know, that we just got so used to doing it, and then we take things for granted. And that being said, you know how you all do it is truly a better is better for you. And then if something happens, you know what I mean? Okay, like for example, like you know how like when you'll get some food, you know, that they will have a recall on it because something bad went happen at the factory. Well, how y'all doing it? You don't ever have to have an issue, which is fantastic. Right. So.
Yeah. Well, even when the pandemic first hit and they closed down our state, I think the first round for Pennsylvania was what, Skipper? A month they closed down? Anything non-essential?
Yeah, it was April to May. It was actually 2 months.
Right. And I didn't have to go out hardly that entire time because I had so much stuff stocked here just because that's just what we do, that I didn't really have to go out very much. Occasionally for milk and bread. Now I have the supplies to make my own bread here. I'll be honest with you, I just get lazy. It's kind of a project to make your own bread. But
yeah.
So like milk and bread were my biggest things I have to go out for. And it was a quick 5-minute trip to the local store and I was home and that was it. And I really didn't need much of anything for the first 2 months. We were in quarantine. And after that, you know, I had to go get some other cabinet stuff. But that really hit home. And I said to him, like, well, thank goodness we have all of this stuff. And he's more of like the prepper. Like, I'm just like, oh, I want to eat delicious things. So I got, you know, store this stuff. But he's more of like the prepper, you know. And I said to him, I'm like, well, thank goodness we had all this stuff. And he's like, well, that's the point of why we have all of this stuff. And I was like, yep. I get it now. But that's when it really hit home to me that, like, you know.
Yeah. And the sad part is nowadays a lot of people can't do what you guys do or what I grew up on, which I can always revert back to it. Mm-hmm. And because it's something you don't forget. Right. When it's instilled in you as a little kid, it's always there. So actually, you guys got a question. Rocco wants to know, what do you guys use in the garden for insects?
For insects?
What kind of insects are you looking? Well, so the first thing we do is we companion plant. So there's a lot of insects that don't like things like your lemon balm. Well, lemon balm's kind of invasive, but like basil, rosemary, lavender. Deer don't like lavender. But there's different insects that don't like different types of things. So a lot of time, our first step with the insects is when we plant. So my beds are like 2 foot wide. My raised garden beds are 2 foot wide. If I'm planting, say, tomatoes in them, I'll plant the tomatoes down the center, and then on the outside, we'll plant things like rosemary or basil, things like that. So those plants deter the insects from even getting to my tomato plants.
Oh, okay.
I try and do that more than anything. The only other thing we really use if we have a problem is neem oil, NEEM. That's pretty safe for just about all of your plants. And if it's really a problem, we'll use it's called 7.
Yeah.
7 dust.
Yeah, I think that's what it is. SEVIN, right? 7.
Yeah.
I believe. I very rarely use it, but I have it. But that's if we have a really big problem.
Yeah.
Jalapeno jelly is fire.
Oh, we gave Mr. Manifesto some jalapeno jelly. Patty, don't
wow. Roundup.
She's being Patty.
She's such a city girl, I swear.
Yeah, and we had Japanese beetles really bad 3 years ago.
Yeah.
And if you cover your plants with flour, just regular flour, it gums up their whatever their mouth is, and they end up dying. So that's what we use for the Japanese beetles.
Oh,
But
wow.
we really trying to stick to companion plants that keep the other plants away. But
the bugs.
Or the bugs away, yeah. Not the plants.
That's right, Rocco.
Swiss Aquatics, aka Priscilla. Hello.
Do you have a way to get rid of slugs from flowers? That's a new one for me.
Not really. We don't deal with too many slugs, really. I mean, we have them, but they've never really caused an
issue.
An issue. I'm trying to think.
Well, I can say that they cause me issues when I'd pick up something and then I would like have my hand on them. I'm like, oh, what is that?
Now you're starting to act like a city boy.
And let me tell you, those things do not feel good on your hand. It's like, wait a minute. That's a texture I don't like.
Now, people in our chat are saying like copper rings or salt or coffee. I'll have to research that.
Salt does help.
Yeah, it just basically makes them shrivel up and die.
Emma, hello.
If you have problems with ants, you can use
cinnamon. Ants don't really like cinnamon, so if you have a problem with them on your plants, you can sprinkle it like in your bed. And I think cinnamon helps keep cats out of your garden too, is the other thing. I think it's cinnamon. But
yeah, I didn't know that.
Ants and they will not cross it. They will cross it. You can put a line of it and they won't cross it.
Yeah, Chubb says he's got lots and lots of slugs. Yeah, like Priscilla said, I think if you just sprinkle it as a perimeter, then the slugs won't go through it to get to your flowers.
Adele said slugs are just snails that lose their house in divorce. Okay.
Yeah, pretty much.
Andre, hello. Well, at least that they got to keep the car.
Well, that's definitely some really good information. Wow. Stuff. I mean, of course, the gardens I worked in, they were huge. So we really didn't, worry about that stuff. Because we had a produce stand. But,
And Priscilla said that you can put a perimeter of salt around that you don't want them at. The slugs.
That definitely would dry them up. Wow, we got 8 minutes left. So after this is Susie Q, another Pennsylvanian. She will be on at 7. Then 8 o'clock, it'll be Bob, and I'm just going to tell him here I probably won't make it because I'll be working in the garden since it's cooling off outside. I got to get that stuff planted.
Yeah, we got a couple tomatoes we're gonna plant.
And peppers.
And a couple peppers.
Yeah, I'm doing peppers and onions. I'm going to go tomorrow, and I'm actually going to do corn this year just to try it, see how well it does.
Onions are planted, our peppers are planted. We have some peppers planted. We're planting more. About everything's planted. Just about all the vegetables and whatnot, and watermelon and cantaloupe.
I was watching
all kinds of stuff going this year.
Well, that watermelon will be great, though. I was watching another homesteader. I cannot remember their names. They're in southern Missouri. And this garden that they have is like 50 by 70. It's humongous. And some of the stuff that they do, like they'll plant whatever they want first, and then another part of the garden they'll plant a little bit later so they keep getting stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I thought that was a pretty good idea. Do you guys do something like that?
Crop rotation, yes.
Yeah, we have probably about we have about 3/4 of our garden planted right now, and we still have over 50 square foot of garden left. My sister had some extra plants, so she sent them over today. I went and picked them up at my grandma's. So we're gonna put them in, but then we still have some left. So, and like our lettuce, we started real early. So our lettuce will go through, and then halfway through the summer, that'll be done. We'll dig it up and we'll plant some new. And in the other part where we still have some left, I think I'm gonna start some like pepper seeds, so that way that those are just starting now. They'll towards the end of the summer when everything else is pretty well done, I'll have a whole nother crop of peppers that should be coming ready to go.
I don't think we have those up here.
Now, is that the moth that like he showed on that video?
Probably. I don't think we have those.
No, I've never heard of them.
I don't think so either.
Now also, is that the same moth that a person would find inside their grandma's closet? You know, the ones that they put the hose in the clothes.
The mothballs. I mean, mothballs from there or something. Oh my gosh. That's funny. That's a good one. Yeah, Colorado, your growing season is a very narrow window out there, unfortunately. A higher elevation definitely plays a big toll.
Yeah, I'm very interested of seeing like how her pond is going to do, because like I know that she mentioned that she was going to put a 300-gallon pond outside, but you know.
Yeah, I'm kind of
And
curious to see how Priscilla's 300 outside goes, because then I'm hoping to learn from any of her mistakes, because our weather's not quite as futile as hers. So, because I'm nervous
Yeah.
about putting a 300 outside.
Yeah, especially, yeah. I mean, we still get, it gets pretty chilly overnight. Still, sometimes.
She wasn't able to fit one yet. Well, the best thing for us in Pennsylvania is to put it in the ground.
Chubb said that he has a video on them, what to look for. They are invasive to the United States and around the world, and yes, they will eat your clothes.
That's crazy.
That's funny.
Yeah, my
But this
dad
time
has
has
to come
flown
down
by.
with- Yeah, it has. My dad actually has to come down with a mini one day and dig a drainage ditch for us. So we've been talking about, like, when he comes down, be like, hey, you think you can go over there real quick and just dig a hole so we can put a pond in? So I think that's what we're going to end up doing, so that it is a little bit more insulation for the pond. I think we'll have a little bit better of a fighting chance, like you said, Skipper.
Yeah, the best thing for us is 4 feet deep. Is the minimum you want to get, because 3 foot's the frost line.
Right. Yeah, I have to go check out Chubbs' video because I want to see this mole.
Yeah, I might have to do that too. Yeah, the old while you're here.
Hey,
All right, we
Adele,
got
it worked before, so hopefully it'll work again.
Yeah, no kidding. Well, we got a minute left. I want to thank everybody for showing up to the stream today. Thank you, Robert, for your assistance. And Tom and Karen, thanks for stopping by and being our guests. You guys were wonderful.
Absolutely.
Thanks,
Glad we could be here.
You're very welcome, Skipper. Always a pleasure being up here with you. And everyone in chat, thank you all so much, because this stream wouldn't be a stream without each and every one of y'all. So
That is true. Definitely need chat. Definitely help. It did go by way quick, Patty. It did. But thanks everybody for showing up in the chat. Everybody have a good night, and we will see you next time.
Have a good one.
Bye.
Nope.